Our fishing cult here started, it's under 35 years old.
Yeah.
Because the walking. That helped create most of it.
What up?
Yeah.
Dude, almost ate it. I looked at that pavilion. I was trying to look down here and I almost ran into the tree. I was like, oh, the rods.
Chance to repopulate and not get wiped
Keeps
out.
our ecosystem right.
But it does keep it balanced. You have to have that balance, man. Yeah, without
Once
it,
again, without no balance, we don't live. Humans don't live.
Balance is key.
Yeah, Randy Oehmke, almost 60. Not old enough to give up, man. Surfboard builder, snook enthusiast, addict, fully hooked on it. Style of fishing, it's got to be rocks and wet, man. Like surfing, dude. It's just the rite of passage. Mainly now, it's just become snook.
Yeah.
It's the fascination of making them eat. You know, the science behind it, the colors, figuring out what lure to retrieve. You know, how you get them to eat.
Harrison Beach, born and raised Daytona Beach. 51 years old. Been fishing since this jetty was built. Have the scar on my head to prove it. My neighbor took me at about 5 years old, and I stood behind him, and he took a atom popper, treble hook, about that big around, 5/0 or bigger, and ripped it right through my head. So that was my first experience down here, and been hooked ever since, literally.
Nice.
And I do cell phone tower work for a living. I'm a tower technician. Been climbing for 20 years plus. And target snook. It's one of the hardest fish to catch. It's very challenging here at the jetty. And not a lot of people can do it. So it makes it even more of a challenge. And that's, I fish, I family, and I work. That's it. That's my life. Just got to know what to throw. If you're not casting, you're not catching.
Nope.
It's a challenge to catch snook.
You grew up in totally different neighborhoods, obviously, than the town, but something about this rock pile, man. It's where you make friends, man. You know, it's the rite of passage. It's the surfing and snook fishing. It just goes hand in hand. You know,
We won't talk for a whole year. Come September 1st, all the same people are back at the jetty. People I worked with at Red Lobster 20 years ago, they show up.
Yeah.
And it's like a reunion every single year. It's
well, especially like the original snook club, man.
It's a once in a lifetime experience because not all places have this, and the only place you'll see it is on National Geographic because it's unbelievable.
When you see a true bite,
Love pontoon.
yeah. When you see the true bite, when it lights up, it's truly lit. We're lucky we get it once a year, 2 nights a year. We see it. You see it 3, that's spectacular. But to see something like that, you just
Want to put your rod down and film it. That's how impressive it is.
I mean, there was people that don't fish tourists walking out. They're seeing it. I look at it and go, "You just saw something you'll never see again." That big. We see this once, twice a year. You know, the rest of the time there's fish, but when just that bite, that true bite, that's what we
Pure
live
mayhem.
for, man.
It's awesome.
Yeah, we live for it because, dude, if you're not here and you miss it, dude, you don't kill yourself because you missed it. You have to be here to see it.
It'll drive you. Snook fishing drives you insane.
That's the injection going in, man. That's the drug. Just that
the
1 or
adrenaline
2
rush.
nights are the drug.
Yeah, I got 2 questions that are similar. One, one's going to be your most memorable fish story, and then the other one's your all-time catch. So those could be two different things, you know. Like your most memorable fish story could be like something that's sentimental to you or whatever, and then your all-time catch is like, you know, what you believe to be your best fish. So what would you say is your most memorable fish story, Oehmke?
Most memorable?
Yeah.
Probably the snapper at Pavones, yellow wind cheater, of course. Just because the fact this kid that lived there just wanted to play the game. Let's have a tournament. I live here. I fish. I fish every day here. Okay. So the best thing in the world. I go downstairs to the bar. I've known the bartender for 20 plus years of surfing that point. I open up the tackle box. I look at him, shrug my shoulders, taps on the yellow wind cheater, points at the rock pile, tells me, looks at his watch, and tells me what time. Go down there. I mean, dude, could have been more spot on, literally to the second. First cast, dude, 20-pound snapper, dude. My buddy's standing on the rocks going, no, you're not going to pull that fish out of the hole it just went into. You're done, dude. You're done. Set comes through, 4-foot wave, hits the rocks, fish comes flushing out of the hole. Dude, got it on the beach, dude. You have the pic. You'll have the picture for the article. That's one of my best, dude, because I go back to the bar, smart ass I have the tournament with comes in on his paddleboard. He's got a mackerel about this big and about 1.5 pound jack. He looks at me, oh, I see your rod sitting there. Where's your fish? You walked right by it. Well, I'm like, dude, look on the wall. He turns around, the guy's just jaw hissed the ground. He didn't know what to say. I'm like, yeah, dude. Talk shit, you catch no fish. I didn't talk shit, I just went fishing.
That's awesome.
Fucking classic, dude.
Would you say that?
Plus, that fish fed a lot of people because I gave a lot of it away. I let a Tico fillet my fish with the dullest machete I've ever seen. He filleted it to the T, dude, just so he could have the carcass, the cheeks, and the head to make soup for a family of 6, dude. It was epic, dude.
Machete.
It's just, you did. I mean, it's just stuff like that. You can't make it up, but you experience it, dude. It's what fishing's about, dude. That's what it's. You know, that was my best memory. That was a great day, dude. It's a good day.
Would you call that your all-time catch?
One of, yeah.
Yeah.
Just because where I was in that species and the fight, light tackle, you know, it was epic. And then someone telling me I'm not going to get the fish out of a 4-foot hole in the rocks, out of a cave. Well, it came out, dude. Don't tell me no.
What about you, HB?
I would say Costa Rica is another one. In Tulane, we actually bought a snook from a local, and he said it was fresh. It was not. So the next night I went down there with a bucktail, first cast, a 20-pound snook. So we ate pretty darn good that night, fed everybody at the Breezy Del Mar where we were living, staying.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would have to say another one would be my tarpon at Port Orange Bridge. Had an old school Garcia 3-aught in the rod holder with a jig on it. Put it to the bottom, reeled it up, set it in the rod holder, and the boat was swaying like this. And all of a sudden, wha-pow! He aired it out, and I'm like, oh my God! And we chased him down. I got on an oyster bar, landed him, got a picture of him. Took a scale, and was so excited and screaming. Held up the scale, and then dropped it in the water. But that's probably one of the most memorable. I mean, I commercial fish for years, so I have a lot of them. But that's something I'll never forget. Something I'm proud of.
The tarpon at Dunlawton.
Tarpon at Dunlawton.
That's sick.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any input or an opinion on what has impacted our fishery the most, whether it be positive or negative?
Well, I think a lot has impacted our fishery with obviously more population, more people getting into fishing. Now you'll see 20, 30 boats out here when before you'd only see 5 or 10. You know, population has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
And
for sure,
keeping our waters clean.
That's the biggest impact, honestly. Growth as far as housing.
Yeah, I can't dive anymore. I blew an eardrum, but I can snorkel still. And when I did here at the jetties, we'd clean up all the lead and the line and, you know, all the garbage down there. And there's a few other people around here that do it once a year. And believe it or not, it does help. Keep your trash to yourself. Don't throw it in the water. I mean, it's pretty much common sense things that will keep our water precious.
Yeah.
And without water, as humans, we don't live, period. End of subject. Whether it's fresh, salt, it doesn't matter. Without water, we don't live.
Yeah.
So we have to take care of what we have now for our children and their children.
The big thing now is, people got to get more proactive, man. Chemicals, fertilizers, stuff like that. People got to have more of a conscience of what's going in the soil and our runoff, because with growth now, pollution's probably our biggest enemy. Everything else, man, it's growth. It hurts more people fishing. Yeah, tighter regulations, that does help in a sense. But the big thing is just pollution, man. And we're fortunate here. We have a good inlet, a good flushing system between two inlets. So we have actually good, clean water. There's a lot of places south of here.
South, Edgewater.
They don't have it. Down in Brevard, then like Okeechobee, the pollution coming out of there. We're lucky. It impacts everything. I guess it's anywhere. Doesn't matter what environment.
Doesn't matter what body of water, lake, river, pond, ocean, sea, gulf. It doesn't matter. If you're not proactive, letting your fertilizer run off, or, you know, being flooded is a bad thing, but that's a natural disaster. We can't do anything about that.
Right.
But Mother Nature can fix itself. That's what it does.
What about on the upside? The good impacts.
I will say regulations are good. Do I agree with them? Yes and no, because I'm greedy. I would like to keep more because I like to eat. But in the long run, it's the right thing. It's protecting our species. It's protecting our water. It's pretty much protecting everything.
Yeah. No, regulations
So we have a future of it.
Banning certain styles of commercial fishing. It was harsh on guys where it was decades of families, you know, as far as the gill netting. But dude, that had a great impact. Certain things that they stopped in the commercial industry made it better for the common person to actually be able to.
But they have to regulate it.
Sustainably harvest seafood. Yeah, it's just regulation.
Guy Harvey wanted to stop killing the sharks. Well, they did. Now, I'm afraid to go wading out here.
Yeah.
Because of the bull sharks and everything else that's out here. It's unbelievable what the shark population is right now. It's out of control.
That's a good word, regulation, not banning. Don't ban something, regulate it. So that way
but you have
can still
to regulate
call stuff out. Regulation is better than banning. Banning, then it does
takes
get
nature
over.
out of its balance.
Control. Yeah, exactly. You do stop a balance. Where regulation, you still can keep that balance kind of right, man. You know, it gives them the chance to repopulate and not get wiped
Keeps
out.
our ecosystem right.
But it does keep it balanced. You have to have that balance, man. And without
Once again, without no balance, we don't live. Humans don't live.
Balance is key. Speaking of, you know, you're talking about, you know, taking care and handling fish properly. You know, we do care about our fishery. I've learned that from you guys. Is there anything in particular where you've been involved in preservation or conservation of our fishery? Or just good habits, or, you know?
Follow the rules, because if you don't, you will get caught and you will pay fines.
Yeah.
You know, and if you don't take care of the fish and revive them, let them swim off, those big, you know, 35-inch plus fish, those are the ones that make the babies. So if you don't take care of them, or you keep them and eat them, we're not going to have babies. We're not going to have a fishery if everybody does that. So, you know, do the right thing. Keep your slot, because if not, you will pay for it.
And we all pay for it.
It's a proven fact.
But yeah, honestly, not proactively with any association, but through our group of fishing, we've been very proactive since the laws have changed of going from poaching and taking one too many or big ones to, we get it now, dude. Hey, we have a precious resource. Yeah.
We both have kids. You know, they need to catch too.
Yeah.
They need to experience this lifestyle.
You guys have kids, man. They need to experience what we experience, man. It's all
we're the leaders, and if we ruin it, then what are our kids going to do?
We all have a conscience, man. You know, all stay proactive. We'll have fish.
But boy, they taste good.
For the future, with all the knowledge and you guys have accumulated over the years of fishing, do you plan to pass it along to anyone? And
Most definitely. Definitely.
Who would it be and how would you do it?
And for me, it will be children. It'd be any little kid coming out here, my own kids, anyone that has an interest in it and is eventually going to be hooked like us. It's a lifestyle. And as far as adults are quote unquote kind of worthless. Children will soak it in and relate and adapt and overcome. If you listen to a child's idea, an adult will say, "Oh, that's crazy. That's too far-fetched." No, it's not. It's just what you believe in.
Yeah.
You know, believe in the children, because that's what's next. Not us. That's what's next. So that's who I would pass it on to.
Nice.
Obviously, my own children first, but you know, that's just the way it is. So
I've done it. I mean, how many kids have I shared around my household raising my kids, man? You know, what we do, what we enjoy, our passion for, because it goes hand in hand with surfing. You know, I was lucky to share two passions with a lot of kids in multiple generations, man. You know, look, this is what we have, man. Enjoy it, dude. This is our playground. This is ours.
I can give you an example of somebody, little Garrett Yarbrough. I was taking him to High Bridge when he couldn't go, couldn't drive, too young. Dad couldn't take him. I brought him out here. Now he is one of the #1 tournament fishermen offshore in all of Florida and probably the world.
Hidden bottom.
He's definitely one of the top.
Yes.
He's the best in the United States for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Hidden
Just-
bottom charters.
So it just shows that
amazing.
somebody that has
Amazing.
interest and he turned it into a passion, you know, it does work.
Well,
it can be passed on.
You can tell, as certain kids you pass it on to, man, because you see that spark. You see that fire in their eye that you have. Not every kid has it. Some kids, it's being cool. Like, I see every year a new group of
Cool
kids
guy
that walk
effect.
out here. They got their $1,000 Van Stahl on their $500 rod, and they got their swim bait, and it's like they don't have a clue. But
And they
then we
can't
got
catch
the poor
anything.
local kid that we know comes out here, is a grandpa's old freaking 4400 SS on an old star rod, and the kid's like, he's got that passion. The kid looks,
And he catches.
sees what we're fishing, when it comes back the next day with the same plug, and the kid's catching it. So okay, that kid's in the group now. He gets it. You know, and those are the kids. You know who when you meet the kids. You know, you just know who's the kid that's worthy of that knowledge. You know, and it's fun when you get to pass that on, because then they pass it
And
on.
you get to see him catch.
Or like with me and you, we're older now. We go fishing. You know, we're still chasing that damn fish, dude.
Yep.
Still chasing that 40.
He's chasing it till we're dead.
We're wrapping it up to the last couple questions. Specifically, this local legends thing, you guys are considered local legends. Is what we're considering you guys. Been fishing here, you know, a long time. Put your
A long time.
put your work in, and you know, earn the right to it all. And what would
Yeah.
you say you love most about our area?
I've traveled since Hurricane Andrew, doing telecommunications, cable TV, and then telecommunications on the other side of it. And I've traveled from New York all the way to California and everything south. Florida's home. There's no place like this. Not anywhere in the United States. There's no place like
The
this.
first time I came.
It's just,
Yes.
when you get to see all the
twice before
states,
that. One for a fitting and one.
you're just dying to get home. It's hard to describe. There's nothing like this anywhere in the world.
No, I agree.
We are the sport fishing capital of the world. And
But then our playground, we have something special.
I can't leave it. You know, my last name's Beach, from Daytona Beach.
Right.
I'm gonna die here.
No,
I love it.
Yeah, I've lived in third world countries building surfboards with some of the best snook fishing in the jungle at river miles. I've lived in Northern California, great striper fishing, salmon, halibut, you know. but you can't beat what we have here. I come back
Variety.
here. It's like he says, I've been
Weather.
everywhere and been running for years, and now I appreciate home. I look at the quality of the wave I have, and now it's being deemed as a training ground and a hotbed for professional
County Slater.
surfing here, and the fishing here is phenomenal. Where I've grown a new love and appreciation for home, because everywhere I've been in the world doesn't have the combination of both things I have a passion for, and the work I do. I have it all right here now. I don't have to go anywhere else for it. I have something that I just do that's precious to me. You can't.
Home
Like
is
I
what
said,
you make it.
You can't replace this. You can't replace this. Indeed, the farther south you go, you don't have it. We haven't been. We're overpopulated, but we still can enjoy where we're at. We're not regulated. We still have our freedom here. You know, we get to play. We're not
It's a
overcrowded.
good thing.
It's a beautiful place, dude. It's home. And, you know, say like local legends. It's funny. You got guys that are pros. We're just like just the normal guy that
We're
works.
just guys that are known that been fishing for a long
But
time.
we
That's it.
start, yeah, we just, because the way this place was built, a lot of it, we were in the beginning where you could actually get out here and really fish and bring gear and work it. So we started trial and error. We learned how to fish these rocks, man, because it wasn't done. We're the beginning generation of how it all, of
Pretty
what,
much.
yeah, it was before that. There was no walkway. It was the jetty, and you were a billy goat. But when they
Yeah,
built
it was
the
just
walkway,
rocks and it was sand. Because after I got the lure ripped through my head, I walked all the way in by myself.
yeah,
Blood gushing. It was an experience. And back then they were catching big Jack Crevalle. You know, big Jack Crevalle. That's what they fished for back then.
Yeah.
And I was, I don't know, between 5 and 7, maybe 8. So,
the snook thing took a while after they built this to really
yeah.
become something.
Created
They
a
had to
habitat
pro- yeah,
and they made
for
it home, and I'm glad
to
they
mature.
did.
Yeah, it took a long time to mature, and then, you know, once we figured out what was happening here, dude, no one believed.
So then again, once you catch the big ones, you got to let them go home. Let them go home so, you know, they can raise their families.
Yeah,
And we'll catch one of the little guys.
preserve what we got, and we'll have it for a long more time, dude. We have, yeah, dude, home is beautiful, dude. You don't appreciate what you have till you really leave it.
Till
and
you're
come
gone.
back, man.
Yeah.
Then when you come back, you see it, and it's like, wow.
Yep.
How could
And
you
you don't
hate
know
this?
that unless you travel.
Yeah, how can you hate
So,
this? But it's funny, you know, like I said, you know, we're just working class guys that enjoy where we live, man. We never wanted anything, you know, just to enjoy it, you know. And now we look back, yeah, we helped be a foundation of creating a sport fishery on our rock pile, multiple generations being involved with us.
and now we're seeing it.
We see Woodrow, all the kids,
Our-
the younger
our-
kids, the Yarborough,
Our kids, and then, you know, some of us are older, and, you know, they can have kids, and then, you know, so on and so forth.
But it's cool. Like, there's been a
At
history.
day 2, my son was on this jetty.
Yeah,
Day 2.
exactly. Same with Christian.
2 days old, he was on this jetty.
But
So my daughter, she was on day 3. So,
but everywhere else, like Sebastian, fishery's been there forever down south. Bridge fishing, you know. This
yeah,
is probably the
best,
youngest.
the best known secret, you know.
Well, it's the youngest of the snook fishing fisheries, man.
So,
we got lucky.
we like it.
We're part of the beginning foundation. It's the youngest snook spot on the East Coast per se, because it took a long time for the structure to mature. So I mean, it's hasn't been around as long as all these other inlets, man. So as far as our particular spot, you know, the river's been there forever, but for true growth to get a breeding population is phenomenal. You know, what's happened over 30 years at this inlet fishing is it's amazing, dude. It's amazing. Because it wasn't here in the 60s. It wasn't here in the 50s. It's just now what we have is it's as good as any inlet, dude. We have it. But learn it. Good luck. Because it ain't like anywhere else. This is the hardest place I've ever fished for this species of fish, period.
Yeah.
We can go anywhere else, we
100%.
can fish and catch them. This is the hardest place I've ever fished to catch these fish, period. I'm still learning. 30 years of it, it's every year is a new learning lesson.
If you don't
New
learn
lure,
something every
new
day,
color.
you've wasted a day. No matter what it is.
Ain't no place like home.
This is crazy, dude. It's fun.
Home is home.
It's fun,
what would you say as far as like gear and technology from then to now? How have things changed?
I would say the quality of the lures, the same lures still work. They just don't make them the same. They don't last as long. I understand that's business, but you know, it gets expensive when you're a lure fisherman, and you got to have all the lures. Other than that, I would say quality has gone down.
Quality
But the same,
for sure.
same the bombers, the wind cheaters, the big cobia jigs, quote unquote, bucktails, all the same lures 20 years ago that caught fish, they all still catch fish today.
Yeah, lures that were 50 years ago still work today.
You know, if it hits the rocks one time, it's cracked, it's busted. Back then, you could hit it 1,000 times because they were made better. That would be the only thing.
Reels have gotten better. Yeah, technology, reels have gotten smoother, more bearings, but more money. Rods, you know, rods was great back in the day. Rods, you know, carbon, they made them lighter, but I mean, technology, reels may be the biggest change, but lures, technology hasn't, like you said, quality's gone to shit because we outsource overseas because companies want to make
Materials.
a buck. But some of the longest running lure companies in the world, their original lures still are some of the best I've ever used to snook
Radco.
fish. You know, the couple of the lines from Finland still today hold their ground better than anything I've ever fished with, man. You know, they still work the best.
What about line?
I think
Braid, yeah.
braid is the new technology. Everyone's gone to braid.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, that's definitely
Braid and fluorocarbon. That's it. Those, I agree with that.
Yeah, no,
That technology is
will-
good.
Yeah,
I 100%. I fish with both, so I'm
yeah,
good. I'm good with it. It
60
is.
pound strength and a 20-pound diameter for castability. Yeah, that is.
The
a
durability
beautiful
is there.
thing, man. Yeah.
It's definitely improved from back in the day.
It's
on
made
that.
it's made the catch ratio 90% better from the days of monofilament fishing days. Yeah, dude.
Lost a lot of fish.
Lost a lot of big fish, dude. It's part of the game.
Caught a lot, but lost a lot.
Do you guys have any goals that you still hope to accomplish in fishing, like certain fish that you haven't caught yet, or like the big one that you're still dreaming about?
For me, I would like to, you know, big giant snook.
Yeah.
And then offshore wise, you know, I've never caught a blue one. My son, his name is Zane, and after we named him, I learned about Zane Gray, which there's Zane Gray Reef in Panama. So that's a bucket list moment to go catch a 1,000-pound black marlin with my son. It has the same name, same everything. So that's, for me, that's it. That will quote unquote complete me.
That's the
As a
bucket
father,
list.
as a person, as a fisherman. That's my bucket list moment in fishing.
Yeah.
You always want to catch a big fish.
Yeah.
You always want a picture. But to do it with your son on a reef named, has the same name as him, it's special. It's very special. So,
What about you, Oehmke?
For me, man, keep chasing that bigger snook, dude. I want to break my personal best every year, dude. That's the goal every year. Other species I don't even care about anymore. Offshore, dude, I've done it. I've caught my personal best on red snapper, 35 pounds. I mean, dude, it's certain species. I don't care about anymore, dude. It's just all about this right here, the snook, dude. That's all I want to catch, dude.
it's an addiction.
I've because I've caught Pacific blacks at the place he fished in Costa Rica and Tulane, dude. I got to play with them for 14 months of my life living there, and it's like, to me, it's just, I just want to continue snook fishing, dude. That's it, dude. That's my journey fishing anymore.
And by the
I've
way,
caught salmon in the Pacific. I've caught halibut, strike. I don't care no more.
by the way, snook fishing have the highest divorce rate.
Yes. If you're married, you're screwed. That's why I'm single.
So thank
you.
God I got a lovely wife. She loves to eat snook, and
Or hey, if there's
She
any
allows me
girls
to do
out
it.
there to snook fish, I'm single. Please, let's go fishing. But yeah, dude, it's tough.
you know, if you got a good wife and she understands, you can still do it.
Hold on to that one.
Some don't,
Well, not too many women can understand the concept. You leave the house at 7 o'clock at night. You come home at 7 in the morning. You're gone for 12 hours.
And they think you've been out.
You smell like fish, but it's actually fish.
Yes.
You weren't at the bar. You weren't. You know.
Yeah.
You get in trouble for doing something innocent, dude.
Yeah.
You know, that's the bad thing about it.
Until they go, they don't know.
Because you're about done and you get that bite, you go another 2 hours, dude. And you get another thump, you'll go another 2 hours, dude. It just takes 4 bites and you'll fish for 8 hours. You have to catch nothing. It's
Next
just,
thing you know, you
you
get
get
yelled
that
at.
thump again, dude.
Any messages that you want to give to the guys coming up behind you and the youth?
Respect. Keep it clean. Don't poach. Put the fish back, because if you don't, you're not going to catch them.
Yeah.
It's easy as that. Look at the bluefin tuna. They almost wiped them out. Now they're not plentiful, but they're making a comeback.
It's a fishery.
It can happen to any fish.
That's
Just
like,
respect.
That's how he says respect, man.
We have a
Preserve
beautiful
what you
resource,
have.
and if you don't respect it, we're not going to have it. It's not rocket science.
Enjoy it, don't
common
deplete
sense.
it. Practice catch and release. And then just play the, like he says, play the game right, man. Measure your fish. If it's oversized, take the time, handle her right, put her back. And that's any fish. Any big
And if you
breeding
don't, there's
fish,
somebody
handle it
watching that's
right,
got a ticket book for you.
you know. But just have that respect and teach that respect to everyone around you. You know, don't preach it, but just
Etiquette.
tell people, man, that etiquette of conservation, because man, we'll be able to do this again next year.
We've been doing
We'll
it
see it.
30, damn, I forgot how old I was. About 30 years now, honestly. And it's still going.
Yeah.
It's because of regulations and practices and respect.
Every fisherman's got their secret weapon, right? Or multiple secret weapons. Would you guys be willing to give up one of your secrets to us here in this interview?
There's really no secret weapon. Is you just got to know how to use, if you're artificial, the lure or jig you're using. If you don't know how to wiggle your worm, you're not going to catch them.
All right.
Yes.
It's cut and
I
dry.
won't tell you a color or which size.
Fish are
or what
colorblind,
it
by the
is.
way. They see silhouettes. They don't
But,
see color.
You know, my favorite lures from Finland, the Niles Master. Yeah, go drop $20, man, and learn how to lose one real quick. But
It gets expensive.
it gets expensive. But that's my weapon of choice. That's my lure right now. It works. But you know, spend a lot of money finding out what color. There's only 40 different color schemes. It took a long time, a lot of money to figure out what color works.
Yes.
You know, that's the name of the game, and that's where we broke a lot of ground. It's paying your dues and learning that color, what lure and that color.
Put
man.
your time
I won't
in.
tell you, but go buy a Niles Master.
Any
It
good
works.
snook fishermen, they didn't just do it. Hey, I want to go snook fishing and do it overnight.
No,
They all got time.
it took a long time to finally get to where. Yeah,
Whether
I
they
feel
give you
like
the
I
truth or
finished.
not,
Yeah.
that's here nor there. But
But yeah, I won't blow the spot. But yeah, I'll tell you the equipment. Yeah, buy one, but you gotta learn how to use it. It's all
wanna-
technique, man, and that took 30 years to figure out, dude. And it's still,
it's still,
Time and technique.
yeah.
and it changes.
Yeah.
And it changes.
It's just like I've seen a lot come and go every year, and everything I'm around in this world, dude. Surfboard building, fishing, dude. A lot of new snook fishermen every year, and they give up every year. You don't see them the next.
Right.
Buy the gear, but it's a rhythm. It's I don't
Quitter
know,
never
man.
wins.
It's funny, you know. There's so many try and give up because they did. Yeah, good luck.
Hell yeah.
And I'm not being arrogant or a snob. If you fish, you get it. You understand, because there's guys that fish offshore that, yeah, I will never understand how you catch what you catch and do it but I know what I fish for. You know, we all have our target species. We all learned it. We have our addiction as far as one fish. You know it well. You know, and like I said, dude, it'll take you 30 years plus. I'm still learning, dude. I'll die learning. You know, period. But that's it.
Yes, sir.